23-24.
Mr. President, I move that the Lafayette Parish School Board approves Resolution 05-023-2067, adopting the unified budget for fiscal year 2023-2024.
Second.
Motions and second by Ms. Morrison. Any comments from members of the public? From members of the board? Yes, sir. Mr. Centeni.
I have one thing that is the result of some conversations that Mr. Mouton and Mr. Dugas and I had via email, given the context of what the legislature is considering doing with their tax surplus, which has to do with the unfunded accrued liability and the impact on our budget. Basically, the teacher retirement system, our contribution every year is 24.8% of our total payroll. 3.57% of our total payroll goes to fund future benefits for our current employees. The remainder, that 21.5%, goes to retire the unfunded accrued liability that has been sitting in the teacher retirement system since 1988. What the legislature is considering doing is using some of their tax surplus this year to retire what they refer to as the initial unfunded accrued liability, which is about $589 million, and reduce our burden. So our, theoretically, our percentage of payroll would go down that we contribute to the teacher retirement system every year. So in this budget right here, there's going to be roughly about $26 million of appropriations that are going to the teacher retirement system, not for future benefits, not for anything other than retiring, frankly, old debt. So depending on, I know a lot of the talk coming out of Baton Rouge is that they aren't going to approve a teacher pay raise this year and instead retire this debt so that local school boards can approve a teacher pay raise. I would encourage our teachers who are looking for us to do something that we pay attention to how this is actually implemented, any potential reduction in the unfunded accrued liability payments, because from the math that I've been able to do, it appears that it's not going to be as generous as the proposed pay raise in Baton Rouge, what we would be able to do. But I would certainly be in favor and would propose giving this money to our teachers in the form of a pay raise. So I just wanted to make that point because there's a lot of, budgets are intricate and complex. And so I wanted to make sure that we're all reading from the same playbook and we know the numbers that we're talking about and making sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure our teachers get what they deserve. Thank you.
Mr. Centeni, I seldom agree with the governor, but in this case, I tend to agree with the governor. I think he's proposing a $3,000 a year raise for teachers, and the legislature is saying just what you said. We're going to pay off some debt, and we'll let you give them a raise. But what they're not saying is, if we use that formula, the raise wouldn't be $3,000. It would be less. Okay. Any other comments from members of the board? If not, Madam Secretary, we'll call for the vote.
President Angel, if I may say a couple words while we're doing this, I want to thank the Business Services Department, budgeting and accounting, and all of you who work so very hard and put in so many hours balancing this budget. I know we spent an entire day, 7:30 to 4:30 one day, and then many hours outside of that. You've done a tremendous job balancing budget, and I want to thank staff that also worked through all of that with us, particularly our board members as well. I want to thank you for making sure that we have budget money allocations that we can continue to support our students. We've done a lot around safety this year with your approval, and our academic and instructional programs, our social and emotional support that we're able to provide to our students. I thank you all for making sure that that's a priority. But thank you to our staff. Great job.
Yes, sir, Mr. Centeni.
And I would point out to the superintendent's point, I believe in our 9th budget, this is the first general fund budget that has been adopted unmodified, if I'm not mistaken. So excellent job, guys.
8-4, none against.
Motion carried. This meeting is adjourned. Next meeting at 5 o'clock.
5:30.
5:30, I'm sorry.
Time to go shopping. Come back.